So yo, Omar, my guy, let's
Yeah.
go back to '06.
What's up?
I want to ask you a question.
Okay.
What was it like when you got that first letter from me? Because I sat down at my desk in my cell and I wrote you a long letter.
It was like it was kind of like an insight into what you thought, what you wanted to do, like, and you talk about the letter that when you was talking about let's do it, let's start doing everything we doing
It,
then, or
it
just
was my introduction letter. I didn't really know you yet. I just knew that was my sister's man,
right.
and
Oh, the one where
I
you was
didn't
like,
really
thank
know
you
you
for
yet.
like bring everybody up there to see you.
Yeah,
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 exactly. And I felt like this kid is from Harlem.
yeah.
You know, I wanted to impress you. And I sat down and I wrote you this letter. I was like 28 at the time. This is like '06.
Yeah.
And I sat down, I wrote you this long ass letter. Like what was you thinking like when you read the letter?
I mean, just that you was a genuine person. You know what I mean? Like when I sat down and I seen you with your family, you know what I mean, and how you with me, I just was like you a genuine person, which I think anybody that meets you, that's like what their first impression of you is. You know what I mean? Like I met people that you met inside there that now are on the streets, and
Yeah,
that's all they could tell me. And I met people that met you when you first got there, like when you was 18, 19, and
yeah,
you really you I mean, I guess your core ideals were always there as a young man. So
yeah.
you just built on top of them as a now. But that's what I thought. I was just like, yo, he a genuine dude. I'm surprised we never. Well, I never was really in the streets. In the streets, like it's like halfway.
Yeah.
Halfway.
When I was writing you that letter though,
Yeah,
I thought you was in the streets. I was like, this nigga pulled up with the big chain on his neck.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
right.
He had the expedition, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Everybody looking good,
mm,
and I just remember sitting down and taking my time trying to write you this letter, trying to like really like not just get my point across, but I think I was trying to hold on to my legacy, like who I
right,
was in the streets
right,
before I came to prison. Because I remember writing you saying, I was somebody before I came to jail, man.
right.
I left cars out there, I left jewelry out there, and you know, and but you never wrote me back. You
Yeah,
never wrote me back, but you came to see me,
right.
and that was even better than writing me back.
Yeah. Like I think like that was like that's like one of my things. Like I'm not a good writer.
Yeah,
I'm better at speaking or meeting in person, and you know what I mean. I'm
yeah.
not a good writer, so that's the same thing. It was nothing against like, oh, I ain't writing this dude back. You know what I mean? I see him when I see him. It wasn't like
You,
that because I had cousins that was in jail the same way. They used to write me, but it'd be hard for me to write. You know what I mean? Like write them back.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So
I remember that shit like it was yesterday. I was like, yo, man, I left my MPV out there. I left my Honda station wagon out there. I had to act cool and this and that. I ain't even have to do none of that with you, man.
no,
I left a closet full of Pele leathers out there. This shit got all my jewelry. I ain't have to do none of that because you was already a genuine dude, man. And,
right.
you know, uh, once you came into my life became better. You know what I'm saying? And I'm grateful for that. I appreciate that. This Omar, that's my brother, man. And a lot of people over the years that I did time with, they got a chance to meet you before they even got out there. Just from hearing all the good things about you, how good of a father you are,
Right.
how good of a husband you are, how good of a brother you are, a businessman, and you stand on a constitution that is unbreakable.
For sure, for sure. Like, I mean, like I said, I met a few people that you have been locked up with, and had came home since then, and they all said that as soon as they met me, like, yo, I feel like I know you already. You know what I mean? Like, so I know,
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But like I said, like I'm a genuine person. Like I don't like when you saw me with that chain. That was that
Hmm.
was still kind of like I wore like I you know I got fly. You know I wore stuff, but like that chain was
Nah, you
really
was you was super fly.
yeah
Now
yeah
we ain't gonna sugarcoat this
no
shit.
no
You was super fly. Every time you hit the dance floor when you came to see me,
yeah
I was checking you out like, damn man, like the sneaker game on the beam,
yeah
the jean game on the beam. You know, he's looking good, he's representing, and it made me hungry to get back to that myself because it was a reflection of what I'm known to do. I'm known to be, super fly,
right
jeweled up. You know what I mean? And so every visit, we not only got closer through our conversation, but it was like, nah, you was super fly. We ain't gonna sugarcoat it, bro.
yeah no it wasn't I wasn't saying that as like a boast. I was just saying like at that time when I had that chain that was me like I
Yeah.
had came into some bread and then I was like yo
Oh,
like that's why it wasn't iced out or nothing. It was just a placeholder for some of the money, because I know I could,
yeah.
I could BMF real quick. You know what I mean? So, and then
Yeah,
then
yeah.
I'll be,
Blow that money
yeah, that's
fast.
right. You know what I mean? So, I felt like if I buy this gold chain, it's gonna at least be worth its weight in gold. You know what I mean? I got the
Right.
super great deal on that from my man. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was a custom
When
piece. Nobody, the crazy thing is, it was a custom piece. Nobody had nothing like that. And then I went to a baby party in Chuck E. Cheese, and Jewel Santana and Jim Jones was there, and they was looking at
oh
my
yeah.
chain. They was looking at it, and then next thing you know, he got the A with the wings, and then they
Yeah.
had the Bird Gang pieces, not the Diplomat piece, but the Bird Gang piece with the B with the
Right.
wings and everything like that. You know what I mean? So it was just a
Yeah.
coincidence with that.
Speaking of Jim Jones and the
Right.
Dipset and all that, when I wrote the Street General series, part one, part two, part three,
Right.
Street Generals one is called No Sellouts. Street Generals two is called Nothing is Sacred. Street Generals three is called Can't Stop, Won't Stop. You know, when I was writing those books, I was writing them to sell them to Jim Jones.
Oh yeah.
I was fucking with this kid. Yeah, I was fucking with this kid from Jersey, and one of his folks was this kid named Sheik Ali,
Mm-hmm.
and he was supposed to be in tune with Jim Jones. And I was hungry for I needed lawyer money,
Mm-hmm.
so I wrote these books, and they had just put out Cameron joint Killer Season, and I was like, if I could sell these dudes these books, you know. Then I got lawyer money, man. I could get home. I could be free again. And I think this was like around like '06, '05, and them dudes ended up getting indicted, and that whole thing fell apart. So I ended up having Street Generals 1, Street Generals 2
Right.
when me and you met. So that's
Right.
just a crazy story right there.
Right.
I wrote those every character I created in that story represented one of the members of the Dipset,
Oh, that
or
was
could have represented one
right.
of the members of the Dipset. The book took place in Harlem.
Right.
They was doing their numbers. They was super fly. It depicted the gang culture in
Right.
New York City during the '90s,
Right.
and but as the story goes, we ended up, maintaining uh the rights to that story, that whole
Right.
series. So,
I
but
mean,
I thought I would just
it's
drop
still
that.
good, man. Like I said, the future for your books, man, is bright because, like I said, like I told you back in, I believe he's like '09 and maybe 2010. When I tell you we
Yeah.
should start shooting, like this is before like Money and Violence and all of that. We should start
You wanted
shooting.
to do the web
Right.
series.
I wanted. This
You
is before
wanted to do web
anybody.
series then.
Before
Yeah.
anybody. Before this is before anybody. I was like, yo, it just makes sense like to shoot scenes. I didn't want to do like a whole full web series, but I wanted to shoot scenes like commercials for the book, like a trailer type of thing where you know what I
Right.
mean, what would make people want
Hmm.
to see it, and then I in hopes that it would just turn people on to the books, and it could
Hmm.
flip into always a real series or something. Like,
Right.
but that's still in the future, man. Like that's never like I don't think that that's done because the stories that you tell are so vivid and they so dear to people's hearts. Like they reminiscent of times that people spent in the streets, and they'll want to see those.
Right.
Just like they like 50 Cent got his whole universe, cinematic universe right now. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. Right.
So
Right. I don't think too many dudes fucking with me though, like with the pen man and with this new project I had the opportunity to do, the War Report.
right,
I'm getting rave reviews on that. I got the hottest book in the jail. My shit is all over the jail on every block. Everywhere I go, motherfuckers saying, "Yo, I want to read that joint. Can I read it? Can you send it over?"
right,
And that's the first. It felt like '03 again. When I wrote the War Report,
yeah,
it felt like 2003 when I was writing Respect the Struggle. That's where I was at. Only this time, I gave it my undivided attention because I didn't have to be filing motions on my own, filing briefs and petitions on my own. I was able to commit and dedicate 90% of my time to just writing this story, the War Report. And this is going to be the 11th book we publish together
yeah,
under our joint.
yeah, for sure, for sure. We came a long way,
So
man. We came a long
we
way.
came a long way, and we still got a ways to go.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
feel like we ain't done nothing yet,
No, no,
man.
yeah, yeah. We still in the infant stages, but like I told you, like compared to a lot of people that were are in your situation or have been in your situation, I feel like you made the best of your time. When they be like, "Yo, this dude made the best of his time," you know what I mean? But you really did it because you were a true multitasker and a warrior for your freedom. And I feel like somebody couldn't have focused that much time and energy in multiple things as you do, and not only in that, and be in where you at and hold that weight of being innocent and wrongfully convicted and fighting for your freedom and then be creative enough to write these stories vivid the way you do, you know what I mean, and not cut corners and have somebody ghost write or help you write, you know what I mean, stuff like that. I feel like you did so, and I feel like that's a good key for your thing, and which brings me into, well, I mean, I don't know if you want to say something else about that, but for sure.
I mean, for me, it was like right or die. Like, reclaim your voice or just get mired in misery. You know what I'm saying? Because prison is not only a dangerous place, but it's a miserable place. It's easy to get mired in misery, and I chose to live my life differently. I'm a hustler. I'm from the streets of the Bronx. You know,
Right.
it wasn't too many dudes doing it like I was doing it at 17, 18, 19. Pulling up on lots, buying cars straight off the lot, running around with $20,000 in jewelry, you know, every fly level that come out, I got it first. So when, I always kept that close to my heart. Like, this ain't for me. Prison ain't for me. I'm not a prison dude. I just
Right.
found a way to survive. I'm not doing prison. I'm doing me. You know what I'm saying? And
Most definitely.
when I decided I wanted to be a writer, that was the mentality, write or die. How you gonna pay for lawyers? How you gonna pay for private investigators? How you gonna prove your innocence? You don't have money no more. Your homies ain't lining up to give you nothing.
Right.
How you gonna produce? How you gonna get some money? How you gonna come up with a bag? And I figured I might as well start writing these stories. You know what I'm saying? I was really in the streets. I was really running with heavy hitters. I grew up with legendary dudes. I really went through a murder trial.
For sure.
Why not start writing stories that people could relate to? You know what I'm saying? If you like power,
Yeah.
if you like anything from the Power series, which me personally, I love. I
Right.
enjoy them all, especially the Raising Kanan series.
Yeah.
You gonna love my pen game, my stories. You gonna resonate with them. You gonna enjoy them, and you gonna be happy at the end of the day with the product that you spend your money on. I
Yeah.
put time and dedication into any story I ever wrote, any book I ever produced. And it was always for my freedom. Everything I've ever done was always to be free again.
Yeah.
That part right there.
For sure. Like, yo, that just, I mean, like I said, like, that shows your hustler's ambition for sure. Like, most people would have been like, yo, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Nobody ain't giving me nothing. You was like, I'm gonna write these books. It's like, just like being in the street, like, yo, what I'm gonna do? I got fucked up. I got this little bit of money. I'm gonna buy this whatever, this half a key, this brick, this ounce of weed, whatever, and flip it into all the money I need. I feel like the average dude would have,
Two,
huh? Yeah,
go ahead.
yeah. I was gonna say that the average dude would have been like, nah, I ain't gonna work, man. It's gonna take me too much time. You know what I mean? I gotta learn how to do all of it. You know what I mean? Like they would have came up with all the ways they could have failed.
What if I told you I'm a junior high school dropout? I'm a foster kid. I've been in the streets since I was 12. My best friends died before I was 14. Two of them back to back. And when I came to jail, I could hardly read, and that was the best decision I ever made, was to write a book.
Yep.
Am I better today than I was 20 years ago? Absolutely. But the stories is timeless.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like a lot of people don't know about it, like your early upbringings. They might have just met you when you was already getting money. Like you kind of lived like a rough life, man. Not kinda, you did. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And that's
I
yeah. I'm listening.
I definitely came up rough, man. I love my mother to death, man. R.I.P. Regina Crocker. That's my lady there, man. She
Yeah.
always
R.I.P.
told me, man, there's something special about you, Ty. She used to say, you a ladies man. And I used to be like, yo, I don't get it, ma. And she was right. I am known for two things:
Mm-hmm.
getting money
Right.
and being with beautiful women. That's what I'm known for.
Right.
And me and my mother, our relationship wasn't always the best. I was in foster care. She gave me up when I was a baby. But she came back for me. She came back for me when I was 4, but she wasn't ready to be a mother yet.
Yeah, which doesn't really
And
happen either. Like people give you up and then they just go on. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, she came back.
right,
She came back. She scooped me back up and brought me back to the Bronx, to the Terror Dome. And you know, it was rough for her. We grew up with nothing, man. Like, I was the first person in my family to ever have a car. I'm talking about my mother, her brothers,
right,
the family members with the generation before them. I was the first person in my family to have a car. So that's how we didn't have nothing. And but my mother had humility.
right.
She had humility and she had resilience. And I got that from her. Unfortunately, at the age of 12, at the age of 11, I ended up back in foster care again,
Right.
because she was overwhelmed with her responsibilities at a young age.
Right.
And once I ran away from that foster home, I was in the streets ever since. At the age of 12, I was in the streets, sleeping on trains,
Right.
um, you know, camping out at whoever house I could.
Right.
And I started just getting in trouble, and I became a street urchin. My whole life was about the streets. Nothing else really mattered.
Yeah.
You know, when you get that age, when you the oldest kid, right?
Right.
Your mother's first,
Mm-hmm.
and y'all don't have nothing. Guess who get pushed out first?
Yeah.
When that food on the table and you got 3, 4 other little brothers and sisters that gotta eat, that
Right.
gotta get nourished,
Right.
you be the one that get the you
You
get
got
the
you got to graduate quick to that top of the class,
yeah,
man. Yeah.
exactly. So my childhood was short.
Right.
And you know, at the end of the day though, my mother made me tougher. She made me smarter, street smart. I didn't really get book smart until I came to prison.
Right.
But you know, I'm grateful for our challenges, our struggles, because they allow for me to be, you know, standing tall in this ring
Right.
with these monsters today.
Right. Like they say, pressure either gonna bust pipes or make diamonds, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think
So
now we should, let the listeners know, uh, we secured the best representation that Pennsylvania has to offer. You know, Wiseman and Schwartz, Michael Wiseman is my attorney now,
right.
and you know that's the best. They're the
Right.
best.
He's
They're the best in Pennsylvania. Post conviction and federal habeas corpus, they're the best, and that is who I am represented by. I'm grateful. I'm humble. All the hard work put me in this position. Shout out to my man Lorenzo Johnson. Michael Wiseman walked
shout
him
out.
out of prison twice on the same life sentence. You know, shout out to Jason Flom,
Yeah,
you
for
know, for
sure.
backing me.
Most definitely. The
And
Wrongful Convicted podcast, episode 3.
wrongful convicted process is bananas. Listen,
Yeah.
I want to say this, bro. You can't imagine how I felt when I saw Jason on the Breakfast Club
Right. Mentioning you. You're right.
mentioning me and saying this is an incredible dude.
Right.
You want to know how I felt? That's what I wanted to hear from my father. That's what I wanted to hear from my friends.
Right.
That no matter the circumstances, no matter how long I've been gone 26 fucking years for a crime I ain't commit.
Right.
This dude recognizes that I'm somebody, man.
That shit is like a great, like a cherry on top of everything you've been through. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's a great
That part right
accolade.
there.
Right.
That part right there. And that's somebody that I'm able to talk to, you know, about life,
Right.
about experiences. You know, Jason has introduced me to incredible people. He's an incredible person. He's a juggernaut in the criminal justice system, the criminal justice reform
Right.
movement, the innocence movement. He's a juggernaut. But I'm able to call him and just have general discussions. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Just like me and my brother always having right now. And I'm grateful for that, man. And you know, I never saw this for myself, bro.
Yeah, man.
You know, we gonna end with this. I got a letter from an attorney
Right.
in 2014. My federal habeas had just been denied. I had filed a post conviction motion. He represented me on that. It was denied. This is 2014. He writes me a letter. He says, "Yo, Ty, you need to consider filing for commutation. And you know,
I hate when they do
you're
that.
gonna need somebody. You're gonna need somebody on a level of a JC backing you to make this happen." I read the letter and I was like, "Is you fucking kidding me? Ain't nobody been fucking commuting in this fucking state in 25 years, B."
For sure.
That was what I was thinking, right?
Right.
Fast forward 9 years, and I'm in tune with Jason Flom, man.
Yeah, man.
I would have never,
He truly
thought
a
this was
blessing.
possible, man.
Yeah, he
You know what I'm
truly a
saying?
blessing on
So
this journey that we on for sure.
absolutely, bro. Absolutely, man. We right there, man. We got everything is filed. The prosecution has responded. We just waiting on the ruling right now, bro.
That's it. That is
The
it.
truth and the truth will prevail.
Absolutely.
Any final words?
Nothing, man. Like just this is a second of many. Just keep your ears open and keep showing support. Spread it, share it, like it, and
That's all, man. That's all we want, man.
yeah,
Spread it, share it, like it, man. The war report is coming. That's my eighth solo book, my eighth solo novel. That's not including my memoir. It can happen to any of us. Go out there and support, man. This is for my freedom, man. Everything I've ever done is for my freedom. Whether, I was on the right end of things or the wrong end of things. It was always about my freedom and fighting against this injustice. Peace, peace, peace.
easy.